Okay, I hope this stays. Hey, it's been a while, not for you, but for me. Because I just posted all of the last videos of my surgeries. Never got around to that, thanks to a bad computer. But I got a new one. Everything's posted. We're set. I have already recorded this video once before, and sorry, my mom is texting me. I've already recorded this once before, and I wanted to make it quick, like 15 minutes maybe, but I blabbed on for an hour, and I edited the entire thing and got to about 45 minutes. Not gonna cut it, nobody's gonna watch that. So here we are, we're gonna speed run this shit. I got notes, 2 pages to help guide me so I don't fucking run my mouth. Okay, let's get started. We're gonna start with October last year. First month post-op. Fucking terrible. That time was actual hell. I spent 3 weeks at home, 1 week on both crutches, 1 week on one crutch, and that last week I did full weight bearing, nada. I was on a crunch to make sure that I would get home after 3 weeks because I wanted to be home. So we did that. About a week after getting home, I realized that I needed to be on a cane. I was limping a lot and my back was hurting, blah, blah, blah. Stop. So yeah, realized I needed to be on a cane, and I went and bought a cane for $32. Yeah. So we have that, and I used that for like a solid 2 weeks, and then I realized that I was just carrying it more than I was using it, so I was like, all right, we'll just drop it. November, I started resuming daily activities, going to the gym, going to work, driving myself, all that good stuff. I went to Steamboat with my cousins. I did a lot of walking. I did have my cane at that time, and that was like mid-November. And for like November, December, I was using my cane as needed, especially if I knew I was going to be walking for a while. I'd bring my cane and I'd use that. So I'm glad I brought that to Steamboat because I would have been limping terribly had I not. I did some swimming. Everything was great. It was a hot spring, so it felt really nice. And it was also there that I realized my hips would freeze up really bad if I was cold. Like, I could not move, thought I was going to have to call for help type shit. December, not much to note. Went through the holidays, everything was good. Nothing really worthy there that I remember. In January, I started to notice a decline in the hip that I had had surgery on. I was unable to do any hip flexor strengthening exercises because it would hurt. And it's not like a sore hurt, it was like a ouch hurt. I think we just fucked something up kind of hurt, not like I'm making progress, kind of I just erased some progress. So that was a little concerning. And that was also when I started getting this like flopping feeling, like there was a tendon just like flopping around in there when I would like bring my knees up to my chest or lower them. And it wouldn't necessarily hurt, it was like an annoyance, but if it was repetitive, like if I was doing a set of something, it would start to hurt towards the end of the set, and I was like, okay, because we won't do those. So it was hard to do hip strengthening exercises when they would just put me in pain after, and then I couldn't do them for a week or two. Nothing's working here. January was also when I started getting this god-awful shooting pain down my leg. It felt, picture like a log. You have an axe and you swing down to cut that log in half, okay? That's what it felt like somebody was doing to my entire leg. It hurt so bad. It would put me in tears if I had all of my weight on my right leg for more than like half a second. It would feel like all my weight would crush my bones down, and that didn't hurt as much as the pain of what felt like my bones like retracting. Is that the right term? I don't know. Like going back. It felt like a spring, and then popping back up was so painful. I can't even like describe it. It was 10 out of 10, above the 10 on the pain scale. It hurt so bad, and that was every time. Walking, putting my socks on, I said to put my shoes on anyways, but like putting pants on, it hurt so unbelievably bad. So that started to be a concern. I was working out regularly with my physical therapist and my trainer, and they work out at the same gym, so it was really nice for them to, I could express something to one of them and then they would work together on it, and my physical therapist would help identify it, and then my trainer would help me with exercises to work on that. So that was incredibly nice. I've worked with both of them for years, so you know, I know both of them really well, and they've been with me on this entire journey, so thanks, Mike and Nate. In February, I feel like I'm talking with my hands so much. Put them down. In February, I was very aware of the fact that my skin on my thigh was still super numb, and I was experiencing skin zaps a lot, very frequently, and I always took that as like, oh, my skin's just waking up, like I'm good. But the numbness was very painful. If I got crumbs on my leg and I went to like wipe them off, it felt like I was skinning myself. No joke. Scrubbing it with a loofah, shaving, excruciating. Thought my skin was coming off. It hurts so bad when your skin is that numb. But it was like, if I touched it lightly like that, I couldn't feel it on my skin, but I could feel it like underneath. Like a pressure kind of. And that's still the case around the area with my incision, or like if I scratch in one area, I'll feel it like over here. I'm sure that's normal. And then it was around like between February and May that I was kind of like, okay, something's wrong, something's not right here. And I stopped working out so much, and I was only doing cardio and abs, and that didn't necessarily work in my favor because my joints started dislocating again, so I had to start doing strengthening stuff. But because I realized that something was still wrong, that was when I made an appointment with my orthopedic surgeon, and I went to see him. And that was in June. He identified the flopping muscle as my psoas, just like crossing over the ball joint of the hip replacement, I think. I don't know, it's flopping over something in there. So he was very confident in that. And he was right. It just wasn't the full issue. His office was able to get me in for a cortisone shot that day right after our appointment. So we did that. And I just want to say that was my third or fourth cortisone shot, and none of them have hurt like this one did. Normally I have no problem looking at the screen, watching them do it. Usually I'm holding back laughter. This one made me cry. Has not happened before. This one made me cry and hurt so bad. I didn't watch shit. So we kind of, you know, did that one along with it. And also in June, my PT started noticing that I was walking weird. He noticed that I was walking with a scissor gait, which is like walking one foot in front of the other, kind of like a model. So basically I'm a model. Thank you, Mike. So we fixed that because that's not good. I have videos. I don't know if I'm going to put them in because they're so embarrassing. I do not want to know what I look like from behind when I walk. That's just, I wish I wasn't aware of that because that's so embarrassing. I don't know if I'm going to put them in because I don't know about that. Maybe I will. I don't know. Probably not. I learned how to walk again, very like, you know, not so much right in front of each other, but out to the side. And I was so conscious of that. Like I had to be on it. Every time I was walking, I was like, had to think about it. It's good now. It's second nature. I'm walking normally again, except when it hurts a lot. Then I kind of go back, but I'm like, nope, separate. After we kind of addressed my walk, we started doing needling and muscle scraping. With that muscle scraping, I noticed so much nerve relief. It hurt like a bitch the first time we did it. Oh my God. Normally, my pain tolerance is super high. I can deal with it, and my physical therapist knows that, but he knew that this was hurting because I wasn't talking. I can talk and laugh through most of my pain, but this, I was holding my breath and not talking. It hurt so bad. I also started seeing a massage therapist, and she would work on my back because my back was very messed up from limping for years. And it was just very tight from sitting funny, just kind of something I adjusted to after surgery and just kind of never went away. In June, I started finding some stuff that was working and relieving some pain. All right, July. I had a 6-week follow-up with my orthopedic surgeon, and I was kind of like, yeah, that cortisone shot didn't really do squat for me. Didn't really help that pain that's going down my leg. And that's when he was kind of like, this must be a nerve thing. I want you to meet another doctor that's on my team. And because my orthopedic surgeon and his clinic are not in my insurance, they're out of network, I had to request a referral from my surgeon within our insurance. And he looked it over and he was like, well, I do the same thing, just come see me. And we're like, cool, we don't have to pay for that. Awesome. Between August and September, not a whole lot to note. I was still feeling a lot of relief from the muscle scraping, and I could absolutely tell if we skipped it for 1 week. It was very much like, I see him every 2 weeks, and at the end of those 2 weeks, I'd be like, dang, it's starting to hurt. Like, it would be to the day 2. I saw him on a Monday, and then about a week or 2 later on the following Monday, it'd be hurting. So I could tell if we were skipping weeks, for sure. And then I don't remember if it was August or September. I think it was September. I had my appointment with my surgeon in our insurance, and he agreed that it was a nerve issue. He also said that the skin zaps and the numb skin was not normal for a year out. So I'm gonna say that's a nerve thing as well, because I'm not a doctor. So yeah, he said that's not normal and that should be gone by now. And then he also suggested doing another cortisone shot via ultrasound, and perhaps that the last time they did it, they just missed the muscle. And I'm like, hey, maybe that's why it hurt and that's why it didn't work. So we did that again, and I was not in pain this time. I was holding back laughter, and the doctor actually did a double take. He like looked at me to make sure I'm good, and then quickly looked back like, are you laughing? I think he said, are you like crazy or insane or something like that? And I was like, yeah, I'm having fun here. Who let me have fun? He also referred me to get if you look at the notes here, I had to write it down because I can't remember, an EMG, which is an electromyography, and or an NCS, which is a nerve conduction study. I don't know which I'm getting or if I'm getting both, but that couldn't happen until January. So I have to sit with this pain for another few months. That'll be super fun. Not sure how that's gonna go. Not sure if I'll update after those appointments to see what's up, let you know how it's going. And then we get to October, a full year post-op. Still a lot of pain. The nerve pain, the shooting pain down my leg came back and wasn't really being relieved by the muscle scraping. It was, but it would last for less time. And I was kind of like, I gotta find something else. I gotta find something else to help me. So, lidocaine patches. I started using these, and oh my God, they work. I wish they had bigger patches than this that would just cover my entire leg. Now, unfortunately, apparently, you can overdose on lidocaine. I'm sure that's if you have it in extreme quantities, but this is 4%. And you can only, oh my God, you can only have it on for about 8 hours at a time. I think the only symptom was like dizziness or something else. I don't know, that was the only thing that really stood out to me. But that was a little loud, I apologize. I've kept it on for longer than 8 hours and I'm completely fine. I would rather be dizzy and painless than in pain. You dig? So I found those have worked really, really well. I want to talk about just a few things, a couple changes that I want to make for my upcoming surgery, because I am getting surgery on my other hip. Gonna get that taken out and have a fake hip in that one too. One is I want to stay inpatient for one night, just because I have a really hard time with anesthesia and I got incredibly sick last time going home. I was throwing up before I left and then we still went home because I actually turned down staying the night. I was like, no, I'm good, don't worry about me. No, they should have worried about me. I got home and threw up like all of my pain pills, so my mom's calling trying to figure out if I can take more, or if she's gonna accidentally kill me if she gives more. So I would just like to stay the night, especially because my surgery is going to be way later in the day, which means I probably won't be waking up until 8 or 9 probably, and at that point I should just stay the night because I'm going to be sick until about midnight. And the next thing is I would like to stay an extra week at my parents' because after 3 weeks, I was just not ready. I wanted to be home so bad, but I was not ready. I have stairs in my townhome and it was a struggle to get up them. It wasn't like, you know, every step it was like, and it took me about 3 minutes to get up the stairs. So if I can avoid that, let's do it. Next thing is going from 2 crutches to 1 crutches to a cane immediately. Not doing full weight bearing too quickly. I want to have assisted walking for a good probably 2 or 3 weeks after I'm off the crutches, just because I don't want that limping back, and that's incredibly hard to get out of. That's a terrible habit, but when your mind is like, hey, if you walk this way, you're not going to be in pain. I'm like, you're right. Why would I ever doubt you? You know what's up. Those are just a couple of changes. I think that's about it. Those are the only changes that I really plan on making. So next thing, it is Tuesday, October 28th. My surgery was supposed to be on November 26th, I think, the day before Thanksgiving. However, last week on Wednesday, I got a call saying that my insurance would be parting ways with the clinic that I go to on the 31st of October. Like a little over a week of a heads up, like, hey, by the way, your surgery is either going to be canceled or you can pay out of pocket. So obviously I'm not going to cancel, but Thursday, the next day, another lady in their office calls and she's like, hey, we have an opening on Wednesday next week if you want to come in before the 31st. I said, next week? Lady, that's less than a week away. Huh? And I was like, I can't really make this decision right now. So I didn't. She was like, yeah, just let me know tomorrow, because obviously I'm gonna have to change my days off with work and make sure my parents are available to take care of me, all that jazz. Friday, I agreed to move up my surgery. So my surgery is tomorrow. My surgery is tomorrow. I went from having another month to having like 4 days. A month to 4 days. So I've been cleaning like a maniac and getting so much stuff done. I haven't packed it all. I'm probably gonna pull another all-nighter like I did last year because that was just so much easier. Surgery is tomorrow. I'm not gonna record this one. I'm just gonna focus on the healing process because it's kind of a lot. It's a lot to do, and it's most likely going to be the same exact thing as the last one, just gonna be inpatient, which would be more fun content, but I don't know, it's kind of awkward when you're recording and then the nurse walks in, so I'm gonna skip that this time around. That's it. This is my 1-year post-op review. This video took about 1/3 of the time as my last one, so I'm happy about that, and I'm gonna go back to work. This is not where I work. I drove somewhere else. I throw this away now, my beautiful handwritten notes. Oh, I forgot this, but between February and May, I'm pretty sure it was in May, I scheduled my surgery. I scheduled it so far in advance just for that to change. I don't know, we're getting it done, and I'm gonna go back to work and I'm gonna edit this video while I'm at work because it's slow, not because I don't do my job. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day, wherever you are, whatever time of day it is. Enjoy your morning, evening, night, whatever. Have a good lunch, good breakfast, good dinner. I don't know. Bye.